Danny the Digger, it is great to have you back with us here on the Watchman Show.
Always a pleasure.
Oh, man.
And what a nice day today.
Incredible. And we are at one of the most important ports of the ancient Roman world. That's number one, Danny. Number two, one of the most iconic and pivotal sites in the New Testament. Where are we right now?
Totally. Welcome to Caesarea Maritima, okay? Caesarea in Hebrew, the city that was named after Augustus' family, Julius Caesar, who turned Rome into an empire, and then his adopted son becomes the sole ruler, and his vassal king here in Judea is Herod the Great. And Herod, once he's appointed by him, he has to show his gratitude. So he builds a whole city and names it after him. Now, Caesarea is a city that was known for a few places. This is the Caesarea by the sea, Caesarea Maritima.
Beautiful, the shores of the Mediterranean. We have some people actually fishing behind us as well.
Totally, and yet 2,000 years ago, Herod founded the city for what he created behind me, a port. The biggest man-made port in the whole Roman Empire at that time was created by that Herod. He was an amazing entrepreneur, and we are standing in what used to be his own very private palace.
Wow.
Your feet are on original mosaic floor from Herod's time.
2,000 years old.
Yes, connecting the parts by the on the land to a whole section that was right on the water, Eric. This rectangular pool was either for fishing or for swimming. The pedestal in the middle is maybe where there was a sculpture of either Herod or Augustus himself. And the only thing left of it today is that was built up is the wall on the left side. Imagine a two-story building here showing Herodian wealth.
Wow, and you know, he called this place, Danny, Caesarea, in honor of Augustus Caesar.
Yes.
This was the king of Israel at the time, Herod the Great, renaming this spot after a Roman emperor. This must not have gone over too well with the Jewish people here in the land of Israel.
Of course, the Jews were controlled by the Maccabees for over 100 years until the Romans show up. And then this guy, Herod, convinces them, put me in charge. I'll be a better tax collector than the Jewish one.
Yeah.
Okay? And they are convinced, or Augustus is convinced. And he has to deliver. Taxing the people to a maximum level is not enough. He has to generate more economical traffic. Wow. And he becomes, Eric, in retrospect, the biggest entrepreneur in the history of this land. He rebuilds Jerusalem's Temple Mount. The whole temple of the Jews is redone.
The second temple, Herod's Temple.
Yes, it's technically actually a third temple, okay?
True.
And here he takes a sand dune in an area of swamps and creates the biggest man-made port, not just in this region, in the whole Roman Empire.
The master builder of Israel. You and I have gone to these sites. Now we're at Caesarea. Herodium, Masada, the second temple.
Even in Jordan, Machaerus.
Yes.
Okay? We've viewed about 3 or 4 of his sites already. And
yeah, his legacy is still felt today in the land.
Totally, totally. And the guy really transformed this land, not just economically, but also culturally. Behind us over here, you have a theater, a hippodrome, okay, bathhouses. Herod also brings Roman culture into this land. Mosaic floors are introduced in his days with these geometric decorations, and he will really change this land in an unprecedented way.
Yeah, and we're standing on one of those mosaic floors right now, as you said, Danny, 2,000 years old. And one of the things that strikes me about Caesarea, in addition to the history, obviously, pretty well preserved. The ruins here, the Roman theater here, which we'll see in a bit, is incredible.
Yes, the city flourished for about 1,000 years, but once the Crusaders are expelled, sand covers up the remains and it preserves them. This specific floor was exposed in the 1970s, and look, the original part is to a great extent intact. And we will see the hippodrome, the bathhouse. Most of the port has sunk, but the parts that are still visible are also very, very impressive.
Yeah. The other thing we need to get into, Danny, is, look, this was a pivotal site in the New Testament. I'm talking the apostles Paul and Peter. Give us a little background on Paul's history here in Caesarea from the book of Acts.
He goes to Jerusalem and starts preaching, and the priests don't like him. So the priest eventually convinces the Romans to put him on trial, but Paul says, wait, I'm a citizen. I'm not just someone living in the province. I'm a Roman citizen. I have a right to be tried by the emperor himself.
That was a big deal when he said, look, I'm a Roman citizen. They're ready to beat Paul. They were kind of smacking him around. And he says, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're hitting here. To be a Roman citizen, a huge deal in the ancient world.
Yes, they had tax exemptions. They had more rights.
Yeah.
So the governor says, okay, you want to be sent to Rome? I'll send you to Rome. And we don't know why, once he's brought here to Caesarea, instead of being put on the first boat sailing to Rome, he's actually kept here for 2 years in the local prison.
Yeah, he's in prison for 2 years, the Apostle Paul, after, the ruckus in Jerusalem. And we actually have the spot where he just might have been imprisoned.
Yes.
Right here in Caesarea, and you're going to show us, right?
A relatively new find from the 1990s has presented possible evidence. I don't have proof, but possible circumstantial evidence for the location of the prison of Paul here in Caesarea.
Well, let's go take a look.
Let me show you.
Danny, lead the way.